Hello, this is NuBrGNi, and welcome to Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players. Here on this show, we spend 1 week highlighting an up-and-coming North American player. Throughout the week, we find out more about the player's history, their personality, and their playstyle over the course of 6 short episodes. On Monday, we'll interview the player and find out more about them. Tuesday through Thursday, we'll watch a game from each of the various matchups casted by your very own NuBrGNi. On Friday, we'll check out a generally awesome game with some sick play, and on Saturday, we'll kick it back with the player and have some wacky fun with some randomly selected events like handicap ladder matches, karaoke, and dance contests. Each episode aims to be about 20 to 30 minutes long, so you can learn more about the North American StarCraft 2 scene without interrupting your busy WCS schedule. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. Hello, this is NuBrGNi coming at you with another episode of Breaking Out, the show about North American StarCraft 2 players. Today we have the Zerg vs. Zerg from the week of NuBrGNi, so let's go ahead and jump in and introduce the players as we spawn down here in the bottom right-hand corner on top of the red Zerg player. He is again the highlight player of the week, representing Team Eternity Gaming. It is Eternity Gaming's NuBrGNi. He's going to be playing with that UR tag for Underrated Gaming, but that is his old team, currently representing Eternity Gaming once again. But he's going to be up against his opponent, spawning up here in the top left-hand corner as the blue Zerg player. Not actually on a team right now, but was formerly on Team Evil Geniuses. It is going to be formerly Evil Geniuses, LZ Gamer. LZ Gamer also, he's had experience of playing at that high level of StarCraft 2. This is going to be a tough opponent, but NuBrGNi, NuBrGNi kind of even saying he's a big fan of LZ Gamer. Nice little friendly banter kind of going on right now. I'm not an Indra fan. That's definitely a common happenstance, it seems like, where people say, I'm a big fan of you, Idra, and then he could just get 6-pooled or cannon rushed or something. But not going to be happening right now. Looks like it's going to be a pretty standard game, but I have to say, NuBrGNi indicated in his interview that he doesn't feel super duper comfortable with Zerg vs. Zerg. In fact, this is actually what he feels like to be his weakest matchup. It's one of those matchups where he says, I never bothered to really learn exactly how to play it out the best way that he felt comfortable with. So it's going to be potentially a little bit of a struggle, but it should be a good game. And, with spawning pools coming down from both of these players, looks like a slightly later spawning pool from LZ Gamer, as you can see. Spawning pool just slightly ahead over here for NuBrGNi. But, these kind of small one drone differences shouldn't make too big of a difference for now. Just very, very subtle differences. But hatchery is going to be going down. Nothing too crazy going on just yet. The big question is going to be, when does he decide to throw down those gas geysers? And then, NuBrGNi throwing down the gas geyser a little bit earlier, and you have to remember, in his interview, he said he kind of just got in the habit of going for a lot of really, really aggressive all-ins and such in this matchup, not really worrying about it. I believe he said it was a 10-pool baneling all-in that he would oftentimes go for back in the day, but it's still a decent thing that you could actually still end up doing, so we'll have to wait and see. Does he end up doing something similar? It looks like LZ Gamer going for that gas geyser as well. Of course, you always eventually want to get that gas geyser up to get up that Zergling speed, because it's so important in this matchup. Zerglings without speed in this matchup are really incredibly hard to actually do anything with. Even defensively, you have your slow Zerglings sitting over here to try and defend your natural expansion, and suddenly the speedless Zerglings just run straight over into your main base, pick off 2-3 drones, your slow Zerglings finally arrive, and then the speed Zerglings run all the way back to the natural expansion. It is just a huge pain to actually deal with. But I'm definitely expecting to see that coming in on a round. But LZ Gamer going to be getting up a pretty hefty drone count for now, getting up those queens. Queens, of course, are very important also for the defense. And Zergling speed, of course, being researched for both these players. Pretty similarly timed, too, so no big timings can really be hit over here. Just pure, really a drone game. It's a game of drones right now, but baneling that's going to be coming up for NuBrGNi, and, just based on how much he's droned and the fact that he's still continuing to drone, this looks like more of a defensive baneling nest. We'll have to wait and see what exactly LZ Gamers ends up seeing, because His first two Zerglings going to be coming in over here. Sees the Baneling Nest, sees the Queen. Nothing really too out of the ordinary right now. The Baneling Nest isn't incredibly early either. It's pretty regularly timed. A single one of those Zerglings going to get a little bit low in health. May try and go after a drone. Nope, not even going to bother with it at the same time. We have NuBrGNi trying to get a little bit of scouting information off on his opponent. It looks like it does end up getting cleaned up, but he sees the majority of what he needs to see. He sees the gas geyser. He, of course, also sees natural expansions, etc., etc. But Baneling Nest actually has not been scouted out just quite yet. And it's probably an assumption that you would make, but oh, hold that thought. We have a big shift in exactly what the tech path that NuBrGNi is going for. Right now, he's already started that lair tech. He's been mining off of that gas geyser this entire time, so he's already started that with that. But 4 gas geysers thrown down in comparison to me. All you do is look at LZGamer. You can see still missing 2 of those gas geysers, not even mining off of that second gas geyser. This is hugely indicative of the fact that NuBrGNi going to be going for a very fast tech into Mutalisk likely. And I'm a bit afraid for LZGamer right now, because if he's not prepared for that, he could take some substantial damage. Generally, if you're going to be that much further behind on your lair tech, you have to put on some kind of aggression, but we do not see a big round of Zerglings or anything coming out for LZGamer. In fact, NuBrGNi going to be going for a relatively fast third expansion. We'll have to see if he can actually defend this right now, as it looks like 4 Zerglings will be able to clean up these 2 Zerglings, but the question is, will he be able to defend against the incoming 14 Zerglings that are going to be coming out, along with the +1 Carapace upgrade? That means that even though NuBrGNi is making these 2 Banelings over here to try and defend his third expansion, those Banelings will not be able to kill off a Zergling. They actually require a Zergling hit and a Baneling hit to actually kill off one of these Zerglings, and that means that they just have a little bit extra survivability. That's going to be very, very helpful right now for LZGamer as he gears up to do that aggression right now. The Zerglings moving across the map, but it looks like NuBrGNi coming in over here, sees, okay, you have not even started your lair tech. He actually sees the timing of that lair tech. He sees the Roach Warren. He knows that he has to defend this as well as humanly possible. But LZGamer going to have a lot of Zerglings coming over here. The Banelings actually getting into a very good position and do a lot of damage over there. A second Baneling, not quite as good, but pretty good for LZGamer. LZGamer going to continue the aggression, but right now I have to say that NuBrGNi looking to be in a decent position, and looks like he's going to be able to pick off a lot of these Banelings. Actually, no drones over here. These Banelings going to be kind of useless until a handful more units can actually get over here. And it looks like, oh, those 2 Banelings going to be able to detonate on another 2 Banelings of NuBrGNi. A handful of these Zerglings going to put on a lot of pressure on this hatchery. At the same time, NuBrGNi returning the favor, taking out a little bit of the health points and the hit points of LZGamer's third expansion. But these Zerglings should be taken out the same way that NuBrGNi was able to take out his opponent's Zerglings. And here is the difficult situation right now for LZGamer. The Mutalisks are on the way. The Spire is completed up, and 7 of them is going to be the immediate response for NuBrGNi. And LZGamer, not exactly in the best situation to deal with this right now. He has a lot of roaches popping out, has a +1 Carapace armor upgrade actually researched, but is that really going to be enough to defend something like this third expansion? I mean, the creep is not really a join, so the Queens are going to take a long time to get over there to defend that. We have a lot of speed Zerglings still left over for NuBrGNi to try and do a little bit of damage to this third expansion. And there's no Spore Crawlers over here. Even, oh god, I think that LZGamer is just going to have to maybe give this up. I mean, the Banelings are being morphed in. Roaches are over here, so that's going to deal with the Zergling aggression. But the Mutalisk just coming over here. They know what to target down. They go straight after the hatchery. And that means that 2 drones going to try and mine what they can from this. But they're actually even starting to take some Glaive Worm bounce damage. And inevitably, they are going to get taken out as well, I imagine. No, the middle's feeling like they're going to spare a couple of lives for now. But these Banelings are going to be vulnerable targets if they do not if they're not careful. But the Spore Crawler definitely going to help to try to shoot back those Mutalisks. They just die so quickly to those Spore Crawlers. But NuBrGNi taking a huge advantage in this game right now. He's already a bit ahead in tech right now. He's getting some good scouting information over in the main base, but Spore Crawlers have gone down, although there is a very, very vulnerable Roach Warren over there. And actually, if the Queen tries to play a little bit of defense on that Roach Warren, you could end up just losing the Queen as well. And NuBrGNi, is he continuing to produce Mutalisks? It looks like he's up to 10 Mutalisks right now, not really producing any more for the moment. And actually just transition out into Roach Tech, actually. He's getting up to +1 missile attacks. He's getting up some Carapace upgrades. And, you know, he's going to be in a pretty decent position transitioning out into the later stages of the game. The only thing is you have to keep in mind that he has to do some additional damage with these Mutalisks. He has to make use of them. He's in a good position because he has them. but he also has to make sure that he can do some additional damage, deny this third expansion for as long as possible, and that is a really cute play from LZGamer, using a little bit of that early creep to try and get some of that, get that Spore Crawler down for a little bit early defense, but that drone is so low on health that as soon as he tries to take that third expansion, he could take a lot of damage over here. NuBrGNi actually just going to sacrifice a Mutals to try and pick off that drone, delay this third expansion, actually ends up losing 2 Mutals, not an ideal situation, and, you know, with the queens over here against this few of a Mutals count, this small of a Mutals count, he's going to easily be able to defend that third expansion, I believe, now, especially with all these roaches, etc. around, but doesn't mean that NuBrGNi can't still do some damage. He can still take out a couple of these overlords that are still kind of splintered across the map. LZGamer returning the favor with those queens, though, and honestly, I have to say, once again, NuBrGNi looking very good in this game. He's actually not leading up by a huge amount of supply, but he's actually starting to catch up slowly but surely in that roach count. He's starting to produce more and more and more. A big Zergling run by over into the main base, actually, from NuBrGNi is going to do a little bit of damage over here. A lot of these Zerglings from LZGamer not exactly getting the best position over here, but NuBrGNi kind of focus firing down that infestation pit. Not going to be able to get it, I assume, but you know, doing a little bit of damage, could be a target for a little bit later on, and you know, the Mutals count has dwindled pretty heavily, but he could still do a little bit of harassment. He's actually going to maybe be able to force out a couple of these infestors to fungal growth them just to try and stop them from sniping him off, but the queen should be able to at least help to deal with that as long as these infestors do not get a little bit out of position. A fungal growth does go down, but actually ends up whiffing, so a nice little win for there for NuBrGNi. LZGamer has to establish his third expansion. That is just the big storyline in this game right now, is that NuBrGNi has had this third expansion up and running for a very long time, has spine crawlers even over here to defend against kind of counterattacks and whatnot, whereas LZGamer is just now getting it up at this exact moment. Infestation Pit also finishing up for NuBrGNi, so honestly, NuBrGNi just kind of says, well, I have 3 bases, you had 2 bases for such a long period of time, I should just be ahead in the gas count, I can switch over to the exact same tech as you, and just basically completely outpower you. You can finally see NuBrGNi has finally taken that roach lead for this game. He's sitting on +1 missile attacks versus the +1/+1 of LZGamer, though, so that is going to be a nice little win for LZGamer. At the same time, infestors in a much higher number right now for LZGamer. NuBrGNi just kind of starting to get those up, I believe. Well, actually, no, not even actually starting infestors just quite yet. And we're going to see some Hydros mixed into the, for LZGamer's army. So LZGamer is looking to be in a decent position to maybe defend against this. I'm curious if, you know, NuBrGNi is maybe hitting timing a little bit too early, but I like this actually move over here. He has some roaches moving over here to the third expansion, has some Zergons moving over into the main base. It looks like the Zergons will get cleaned up as well as these roaches, but they've actually done some pretty decent damage at the same time. A handful more roaches moving over to the natural expansion. It's an attack on every single one of the bases LZGamer has, and he's going to clean up all of these little pressure pushes and these little move-ins, but he's actually just buying himself a little more time to power up on that 3-base economy. And then meanwhile, even though LZGamer, he has the third expansion up, but he's still not really mining off of it because he's just taken so much damage. He's lost a handful more drones that were trying to mine over there, and he's not mining off these 5th and 6th gas guys just most critically. That means that he can't add to that infestor count, he can't add to the Hydros count, he can't really add to a lot of different unit counts that he wants to right now. And NuBrGNi, I mean, he's saying, well, I have an economic advantage. Okay, fine. You can have your third expansion. I'm going to take a 4th expansion. And this really just goes to show you NuBrGNi's ability to punish a player who, you know, makes a little bit of mistake. And it looks like LZGamer kind of allowed his opponent to get up to those Mutals. And by getting up to those Mutals, NuBrGNi was able to snipe off that third expansion, and ever since that point, NuBrGNi has just been saying, well, no, you gave me that advantage. I'm not going to let you ever have that back this game. So he continuously pressures his opponent, takes an expansion when he finally can no longer actually deny that expansion, and just stays a base ahead. And what exactly can his opponent do? I mean, LZGamer is getting up a very scary composition, actually. We end up seeing he's actually surprisingly leading 20 supply, and that's just because he's been powering up those roaches, those Hydulas, and those infestors. But NuBrGNi is going up to that hive tech, looking to maybe make a much later game transition than his opponent. We'll have to wait and see. Does he actually have a big enough army to defend against this big Doom push coming in over here? There's still +2/+1 on these Hydros, on these roaches. And in the meanwhile, NuBrGNi actually sitting on +2/+1 as well. So it's going to be pretty even upgrades. The Mutals are going to eventually get picked off by those queens. A nice little win over there for LZ Gamer. Doesn't have to worry about 5 Mutalist harassment. I don't think that we're going to be able to do a whole lot over there. So NuBrGNi really just trying to trade out that supply. But NuBrGNi going to be a little bit out of position to maybe defend this 4th expansion. The units are going to be moving in down over here, getting into a great situation. If NuBrGNi tries to defend this location, it's going to be so difficult. He's going to be going up against a inferior concave, although I'm actually not sure about that anymore, as it looks like Big Fungal Growth actually going down on all of these units. Infested Terrans going to be the unit of choice right now for NuBrGNi, as he is actually dwindling heavily in that roach count. The Hydros trying to fire from behind, and those infested Terrans trying to soak up the damage was just not enough. LZ Gamer just has a few too many units right now. He's going to be pushing in over to the 3rd expansion, but look at this. NuBrGNi has so many infestors still left over from that fight, and in the meanwhile, you can see LZ Gamer not really able to match that infestor count. He's going to have to be so careful, because as long as those fungal growths just lock down the units as they try and engage those spine crawlers, NuBrGNi is going to be in such a great position. He can just force only a handful of those units to actually be able to attack and engage in these battles. But hold that thought, NuBrGNi maybe not getting the best angle over here, as the fungal growths do end up falling down on NuBrGNi's army. Again, he is still a little bit outnumbered over here. He does have some infested Terrans and some fungal growths to throw in over there to help it out, but unfortunately this is not going to work out too well for NuBrGNi. He's going to have to back up. He has to retain an infestor count. That is the one advantage that right now that he actually has going for him, as he's lost that 4th expansion. He's lost a ton of his army supply, and he's losing more and more roaches, as LZ Gamer is starting to spiral a bit out of control right now. NuBrGNi has to back up to the safety of these spine crawlers. That is actually one other advantage that he does actually have, is those spine crawlers. Those spine crawlers are going to provide an immense defensive position for him, as especially up against this ramp, it's going to be very difficult for LZ Gamer to actually move in over here. It looks like NuBrGNi was trying to do a little bit of a circling run by, not quite able to make it happen, and he's going to try and reestablish this 4th expansion once again. Actually, a creep tumor, amazingly enough. Oh my god, that is LZ Gamer's creep tumor. What a cute play. Gonna force out an overseer to try and build, or trying to kill off that creep tumor just to try and build that 4th expansion. That is really nice play from LZ Gamer, as he had the queens over there, might as well go ahead and do it. An extractor being taken over here, not really, but it's actually just the drone that wants to become a 4th expansion from LZ Gamer. Zerg gets taken out, extractor gets canceled, and 4th expansion gets taken. So some nice play, but you know, one thing that is worth noting is that LZ Gamer definitely did a great job with that push-in, but NuBrGNi did manage to get up a hive tech, whereas LZ Gamer does not actually have that hive tech up. So we'll have to wait and see, what does NuBrGNi do with the hive tech. He has muscular augments coming in for the Hydralisk, and you know, he has Burrow going up and researching. He has 2-2 already finished up, and it looks like very soon 2-2 going to be finished up for LZ Gamer. But we don't actually see any Ultralis Cavern. We don't see any kind of transition into the Greater Spire or anything. It's kind of interesting that NuBrGNi does not want to transition to that hive tech. I guess he just does not feel... Oh, actually, you know, I spoke too soon. Greater Spire are now going to be plopping down. I think that's going to be a really great decision, as long as he can get it up in time, because it seems as though LZ Gamer knows that he has to hit another timing over here. He has this sort of 6-star sense that he has to do the attack before that hive actually, or sorry, the Greater Spire actually finishes up. So now LZ Gamer moving it over here, taking out some of these creep tumors. This is going to alert NuBrGNi to the fact that this army is on his side of the map. He has to get into a good position over here. He's not too sure where to defend over there, though. He's going to have to... Oh, no. I was going to say he's had to defend or somehow cancel that 4th expansion, but it's already finished up, and it's just going to go down. There's absolutely no chance, but nice. Fungal Growth actually manages to nab 2 of those infestors. Going to be able to take out another one, and actually one lone infestor also gets taken out with a lot of energy that's still left over. So even though NuBrGNi loses that 4th expansion, he gets a pretty nice pickoff with some of those units, and if he can somehow trap the remainder of these units, he could actually still come out to be in a better situation after all of that has been said and done. It looks like those infestors trying to find the fungal growths to lock down those units. He finds a good one on a lot of those roaches and those Hydralisks at the furthest point, but now we end up seeing some more roaches trying to come in over here for LZ Gamer. NuBrGNi, not exactly the best army angle engagement for this right now. He has to be a bit careful over here. Big fungal growths continuing to fall down, but NuBrGNi is going through a choke. He does not want to do that right now, as LZ Gamer is just getting such a beautiful concave over here. The Hydrals dealing a lot of damage to each other right now, and actually, I have to say that even with the even upgrades, those fungal growths just doing so much damage to LZ Gamer, and LZ Gamer are going to have to back up, but NuBrGNi is not going to let him get away scot-free. He's going to go after the remainder of that army. He's going to try and pick off as much as he can. At the same time, 4 roaches actually going to be able to pick off this 4th expansion. Oh my god, LZ Gamer. I don't know if he doesn't realize it, if he just doesn't have the units to actually spare over here. He's sending all of his units to try and pick off these Hyduls that may have actually overcommitted a little bit. No Overseer going to be around, so he's going to get away with those Infestors, though. That is a really critical save for NuBrGNi, but some Hyduls coming back in over here, trying to reinforce. He's going to throw down a couple more fungal growths. He's going to be able to save a majority of those Hyduls and push back LZ Gamer. At the same time, the 4th expansion was taken out. No creep tumor over here to be planted down for LZ, or for NuBrGNi, but still a very nice win in this game. This is a very back and forth game right now. But LZ Gamer and NuBrGNi both have to find a way to secure and safely defend a 4th expansion. As you know, LZ Gamer has actually a decent number of minerals still left over on a lot of these mineral patches, but NuBrGNi, he is the one that actually has been mining off this 3rd expansion for a much longer period of time. So honestly, I have to give it a little bit in favor of LZ Gamer in terms of his economy right now. He's just a little bit in a better of a situation, even though he's not taking that 4th expansion just quite yet. And we have a burrowed roach, so the equivalent of a creep tumor for NuBrGNi, kind of denying that 4th expansion while NuBrGNi tries to take his 4th. But the question is, when will the Broodlords actually come into play? Because we have one Broodlord out on the map, some Corruptors actually out on the map as well, but he needs more than just one Broodlord to make a big difference in this battle, and he's going to need to get up a superior army to actually be able to defend that 4th expansion. And he's going to be able to do that through tech, but is he going to be able to get up enough Broodlords before LZ Gamer catches on to what's happening and goes for that big attack? Because if LZ Gamer attacks while NuBrGNi is still investing into the small Broodlord count but not able to get up to that critical mass, then LZ Gamer is going to be able to power through. I mean, just look at the roach count, look at the Hyduls count right now for both these players. You can see 12 to 12 Hyduls, even on that, but 5 roaches to 20 roaches. That is going to make a huge difference. And LZ Gamer actually not really catching on to this just yet. As, I mean, his Star Sense was pretty awesome earlier on, but I mean, right now he just doesn't seem to realize it. And he's just going to try and mine up enough minerals to actually try and take a 4th expansion. I mean, he actually does not have 3-inch minerals to do so, and that's going to be so painful, as it looks like NuBrGNi has finally established that. NuBrGNi actually pushing across the map with 3 of these Broodlords, locking down some of those units with some more of those fungal growths right now. And even though there are not that many roaches right now for NuBrGNi, he's still going to continue to pressure in over here. He has to back up, though. He has to make sure that those Broodlords do not take too much damage from those Hyduls. He's going to be so vulnerable very soon. One of those Broodlords starting to get focus fire down by the roaches and by those Hyduls, I should say. But a nice engagement over here for NuBrGNi as he decides to engage over at that choke. And it's going to make it so difficult for LZ Gamer to do a whole lot. GG, well played, as he realizes he has no answer any longer to the Broodlords. And NuBrGNi going to take the game in a fantastic fashion. So a very back and forth game between these two players. But Eternity Games NuBrGNi taking it out in the end. So very well played. It really did come down to that very early denial of the 3rd expansion that just really set the pace of this entire game. LZ Gamer able to make some really smart decisions after that and was able to actually just produce a ton of roaches and Hyduls and outpower his opponent, take out the eventual 4th expansion of NuBrGNi. But I mean, in the end, NuBrGNi was able to get up those Broodlords and really turn the title of that final battle and defend that 4th expansion. So really well played again by both those players. And actually, if you enjoy NuBrGNi's play, please consider following him over on Twitter, over on Twitch, etc. All those links will be posted in the Twitch chat or just below the video if you're watching this on YouTube. And of course, also consider subscribing to me over here on twitch.tv/FearDragon64 or on youtube.com/FearDragon64 for the VODs. The live broadcast on Twitch is actually at 8:30 Pacific, Monday through Saturday, as of course this being Tuesday if you're watching this live. So be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Breaking Out. My name has been Fear Dragon. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my commentary, and if you have any kind of feedback, I'd love to hear it. ZvZ, sometimes a little bit like Greek to me, but I still enjoy watching fantastic players like NuBrGNi play in it. With that being said, have a wonderful night, guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Take care.